After high school, I decided to go to college in New York University and to specialize in filmmaking. So for 4 years, I sat in the dark and watched movies. And my last year, I wrote a film that became a big movie in Hollywood with big Hollywood stars at the time. And then I moved from New York to Hollywood. I sold another 3 movies. And I was working my way up the ladder of American success. I would go to the health club and work out with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I had a beautiful apartment near the beach. I had the dream life. But I felt inside that something was missing. I felt empty inside. And then one day, a friend of mine, Daniel Dayan, who's in the movie that we did now, he was trying to be an actor in Hollywood at the time. He asked me, why didn't I know anything about Judaism? And his question hit me on the head like a hammer, because I had learned everything about philosophy and different cultures and different religions, but nothing about what was closest to me. So that set me off on my journey, which led to Eretz Yisrael, brought me back to Israel, to Jerusalem, and to Torah. And I learned Torah many years, and I wrote many books on the Torah. And then recently I decided, if not now, when? Now it's time to go back and use the skills that I learned in Hollywood to disseminate some of the Torah ideas that I learned. And that's why we decided to do this movie. And Daniel was very glad to be in the movie, even though he's a big Torah scholar himself. He learns in the Tzvat, in the Kollel of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. He goes to Uman a couple times a year. And he was happy to join up again, a reunion after 30 years, and we made the Seret, and thank God that'll be the door to more movies in the future.
I understand from the movie that you're very connected to Rabbi Nachman from Breslev.
When I started to become a Baal Tshuva, I was in a bookstore, a Jewish bookstore, saw a book that was called Advice. And since I was looking for advice, I bought the book. It's a book written by Rabbi Nachman, his teachings, and was a very important guide for me as I returned to Judaism. When I got to Israel, Kodesh Baruch Hu, God led me to the teachings of Rabbi Kook, and I learned many years in the Beit Midrash of Rav Kook, and I believe that it's important to have a mixture of all the great Jewish ideas from all the great Torah thinkers of our times, whether it's Chabad or Breslev or Rav Kook. That's how we can get to the Shivim Panim, the 70 faces of Torah. I'm not a Breslev Chassid myself. I've never been to Uman. It drives my friend Daniel crazy. He's been there 100 times in the last couple of years. But for me, it's very difficult to leave Eretz Yisrael. Now that I've gotten here, I just can't see leaving it to go someplace else.
Obviously that you're trying to send a message through the movie. What is that?
Well, I think first of all that Judaism and being religious can be fun. And also, I think that many of us feel that something is missing in our lives. Like the king in one of the stories, he says, I'm rich, I'm famous, I have everything. Can anybody be more happy than me? But then when the camera moves close to his face, we see that he's depressed. He's not happy at all. Because the material things in life don't give his soul any nourishment. And he goes out to search what's missing from his life, and he meets a peasant Jew who's happy all the time. And he tries to take away the man's livelihood, but he doesn't succeed in crushing his spirit. The man stays happy all of the time, and through that the king learns that the secret to happiness is trust in God, is faith in God. And when he comes to that, then he becomes a happy man too.
I saw the movie and I was surprised. Why is that in English?
That's an excellent question. We debated that here in Israel. Obviously, the public in Israel is more used to Hebrew, but I felt because there's so many Jews still in America who need to hear the message of these stories, who need to feel a closer connection to God, that it was important that we make the movie in English. Usually American Jews if they hear Hebrew in a movie, because they don't understand it, it becomes a barrier. It gets between them and the movie. They're a little bit spoiled. They like everything to be in English. And so we decided to do the movie in English with the thought that people in Israel are used to going to the movies and seeing movies that come from America with Hebrew subtitles. So for them it will be easier to deal with the translation into Hebrew than the English-speaking Jews who need a little help and need also to learn Hebrew.
Producer Tzvi Fishman, it was a pleasure to interview with you.
Thank you very much, and I hope through the what you're doing on Aruch Seva, a lot of people will learn about the movie and will see the movie and will benefit from the messages that there are within.